find the defendant guilty of second-degree murder.
Our breaking news right now at 6. Semi Williams found guilty in the fatal stabbing of 14-year-old Ryan Rogers in a random attack in Palm Beach Gardens in 2021. The verdict ending a 2-week trial after just 5 hours of jury deliberations. Ryan Rogers' father shook his head in the courtroom when the verdict was read. Williams' head was down. He showed no emotion. Good evening and thanks for joining us here at 6. I'm Todd McDermott. We have live team coverage for you. Reporter Caleb Califano explains what's next in this process in light of the conviction on a lesser second-degree murder charge. We want to go first to our investigative reporter, Terry Parker. She was in the courtroom throughout the trial. And Terry, it was clear today Ryan Rogers' family is not satisfied with the outcome of this trial.
Right, Todd. The state convinced the jury that Semi Williams was guilty in a case that had no witnesses and was totally circumstantial. But that verdict was not first-degree premeditated murder, but the lesser charge of second-degree murder with a weapon. Ryan Rogers' father not happy with that. He left abruptly. Family friends walking down the hallway sobbing as they left the courthouse.
State of Florida versus Semi Lee Williams Jr. Defendant. Verdict. We, the jury, find as follows. As to count 1, we find the defendant guilty of second-degree murder, a lesser included offense.
Semi Williams, who insisted he did not kill Ryan Rogers in a violent stabbing attack, showed no visible emotion on hearing his verdict. The 12-person jury deliberating about 5 hours over 2 days before coming back with a lesser verdict than the one that Ryan Rogers' family was hoping for. Close friends who were in the courtroom each day left in tears. Well, you think justice was served? No? Ryan's father, Brian, who cried when the state flashed pictures of his son's horrifying defensive wounds during closing arguments, shook his head slightly when the verdict was read and abruptly left the courtroom before the jury was dismissed. In the hallway, he answered he was not satisfied with the lesser verdict and took the elevator in silence.
Did he go for a bike ride on November 15th of 2021? Yes.
Ryan's mother, Cynthia, who broke down in tears while testifying the first day about her son leaving home for the last time, was not in court since then. The 10-day trial was beset with angry outbursts from Williams, who says he has schizophrenia and has been tracked for years by shadowy secret organizations.
I know it sounds crazy, but they have secret technology and they send electric signals out of the guard station in South 2A.
His lawyers argued he was not guilty of premeditation because there was no indication he planned to encounter Ryan and kill him. But prosecutors said his pulling out a knife, stabbing the boy viciously in the head and neck 10 times showed he planned to kill him, even if it was just moments before.
He wanted to kill Ryan Rogers. We don't know why. We don't know why. Again, nowhere in those jury instructions do we have to tell you why.
That distinction as to whether the attack was premeditated or not may have been what stopped the jury from selecting first-degree murder.
Mr. Rogers did seem a bit upset that it was second-degree versus first. I know that was a hard hurdle. What went into that, do you think, that made it so hard for the jury?
I really can't comment because, we're not back there. We don't really know what the jury's deciding, but we respect their verdict and, we're pleased that they are holding Mr. Williams accountable.
And even though the jury did return this lesser verdict, a hard pill for the Rogers family to swallow, it doesn't mean that Semi Williams will not spend his life in prison, because it's exactly what the state plans to ask the judge to give him. That's the same sentence he would have gotten if he were found guilty of first-degree murder. We will keep you informed as to what his sentence ultimately is. Terry Parker, WPBF 25 News.